Welcome viewers, this is Winch here. I want to talk about a game that was instrumental to my gaming career. It's called Mechwarrior 2. I want to talk about this game and a game that's just come out called Mechwarrior Online. This game was released back in 1995. I was 14 years old then. I want to show you the intro of this game because it was revolutionary for the time. I'll just play this real quick. It's made by Activision, by the way, which is interesting considering the games they produce nowadays. But again, watch this intro. It was breathtaking back in 1995.
HQ, this is Alpha Assault. I'm on my way, bearing 025.
ETA 34 seconds.
Alpha Assault, this is Bravo Cadet. I've got bandits all over me. Get down here.
Sit tight, Bravo 3. I've got visual.
I've got evacuators out. I'm targeting systems damaged. I'm in bad shape.
Enemy detected.
I need two of them. Be on the line.
Roger, I've got it.
Targeting.
It's got a lock on me. It's got a lock on me.
Targeting. Warning. Ammunition level critical. Weapons depleted.
Alpha Assault, this is HQ. What is your situation? Alpha Assault.
So here we are today. This is Mechwarrior Online. That footage before, though, brings back a lot of memories. I remember that game, playing it on my Pentium 2 400 megahertz gateway computer. And that was a beast of a computer back then. I think it was like a $3,000 computer. I remember taking up a whopping 300 megabytes of disk space, which was like over a third of your total memory, because you had about a gig, if I remember then. So now we got this game, and this is a strictly online game. This is currently in beta testing, by the way, called Mechwarrior Online. And what you are is you're basically a pilot in a mech. And a mech is just a big tank, if you want to look at it like that. And they have varying sizes of mechs. The one I'm in right now is about 40 tons, and that's just a medium-sized mech. They have ultralight mechs, light mechs, medium mechs, heavy mechs, and assault mechs. So they all have their different, basically their tactics, loadouts. Each one plays differently. Right here I'm getting my ass handed to me in my back. I turn around, and this is about the worst nightmare you want to see in this situation, an Atlas tank. I'm like, oh shit. This tank is a heavy assault mech. It's almost 3 times the size of me. There's no way in hell I stand a chance here, so I just figure I'm just going to go down with the fight. But look at the visuals in this game. The rockets, the lasers, the explosions, incredible graphics. Again, I think about the polygons and stuff I saw back in 1995, but and where we're at nowadays is pretty impressive in terms of the technology. And I'm really pleased to see that this game and this series is still alive, because, again, you just don't see games like this nowadays. I'm not actually playing right here. After I died in that sequence, you just go to the next person's perspective. So this is me just watching one of my players play here as this match winds down and we lose the match. But what I'm trying to say is you just don't see games like this nowadays, because everything's pretty generic, cut and paste, rinse, repeat. Let's make Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3. Let's make it seems like every now and then they'll come out with a good game that sets the standard or something revolutionary, and then they just copy and paste it. Which, granted, I guess you're seeing here with Mechwarrior. It was, again, revolutionary. I think the first Mechwarrior came out, I want to say 1989. And then that second one was the one where this was like, oh my god, everybody was talking about this advanced mech type simulator, which, again, considering the limitations of the equipment that we had back then, was just, it was just groundbreaking. And do you really see games like that nowadays? I don't know. The stuff I see is pretty generic, pretty similar. The type of first-person shooters, the modern shooters, stuff like that. So I'm pleased to see that this is still out. And it's worth noting, too, that this game was not produced by a mainstream developer like Activision. It was actually, its entire revenue in terms of its production was drummed up from private donations. I think they basically incurred about $5 million in revenue to produce this game. Again, it's still in beta testing, but it's going to be a free-to-play online game, which is what I want to talk about in terms of where we're going with that direction, where you pay for certain aspects of it, but overall the game's free, and it's strictly an online shooter. Which, again, back in 1995, we didn't have multiplayer online back then. That wasn't even a concept that was even known. So it's interesting where we're coming. It didn't take long after that, but you know, early 90s, that wasn't even, you know, the internet just wasn't what it was compared to now. So again, here you can see me, I was flanking behind these guys. Of course, your armor is weaker in the back, and I was trying to take advantage of that, but again, I'm just outclassed, outgunned every time. And my mech just overheated there, by the way, which is a terrible thing. But, you know, games like this, I always say, were really instrumental to my development, yeah, as a kid, and fostering my interest in you know, piloting things. And that's what I do for a living now. I'm a pilot. And, yeah, I really liked what these games showed me back then. I learned a lot from them. Right here, look at this. This is where we're going now in terms of the future gameplay. You saw those prices? Extraordinary. I mean, I'm still amazed by what they're trying to get for this stuff. Basically, what happens is you can purchase credits, you know, with real money, and you use that to buy mechs, you buy weapons, stuff like that. So to give you, you know, analysis right here, I basically spent $15, and it got me 3,000 Mechwarrior credits. And with those credits, I can go out and buy a mech. And I bought that one I'm in right now, and it was, I think, 1,500 credits. So half my money went to just buying one mech. Then after that, you got weapons to buy and various other things. So before you know it, $15 is out, and I'm like, I barely just scratched the surface. I only got one vehicle, basically, to play in. Is that where we're going nowadays? Because if it is, I'm really concerned about the future. Because I remember when I was 14 years old, playing these games. Granted, we didn't have online games, but you know, there's a way I could afford, you know, $14 for one item in a game that may not even guarantee me a long-term playability. You know, you bought the game, you played it, and you had it for the life of the, as long as you wanted to play it. But now where we're moving now, as you can see here, and some people are saying if you spend about $80 on this game, you can unlock 6 mechs, and that kind of gives you a good, you know, well-rounded figure to unlock a lot of various items. But $80 really, you know, just to play the game, and it's, again, it's the whole premise is oh, it's a free-to-play game, which yes, you technically you can hop in it in a mech that's a trial mech, but you don't unlock any experience, and you're not really a force to be reckoned with. As you saw there in that previous footage where I was up against a guy with an Atlas, all these guys that have those big mechs invested a lot of time in this game. They're probably, I think they're called developers or founders, excuse me. They you know, they contributed some money to the game, so basically they paid, got the best equipment, and now they're basically unstoppable. It doesn't make an equal playing field, and this game has a lot of potential. It's a lot of fun. As you can see here, there is strategy involved here, as I'm enveloped by numerous little small mechs that are much quicker than me. They can easily surround me, run around me, shoot me in the back, that kind of thing, because that's where your armor's weakest. So it's really difficult when you're taking on multiple targets here. You gotta use teamwork, you gotta use strategy, you gotta understand your loadouts on your mech, understand what your enemy has, what their tactics they're employing, use terrain, all that stuff, just like you do in Battlefield 3 or any other first-person shooter. Technically, this is a first-person shooter. I don't know if they're trying to basically categorize that to make it more mainstream and say it's a first-person shooter, but really, if you ask me, this is a simulator. Again, that's the kinds of games I saw back in the 90s. They're massively popular back then. I don't know why that interest has died off now. Again, I give a lot of credit to those types of games, and here I am just being an idiot, not even realizing I'm shooting my teammate. But I don't think friendly fire does anything this game. I just overheated my mech there too with my heat gauge there, so it shuts you down. But I just don't see much interest in advanced simulators. Again, as a kid, I was playing, you know, Jane's USAF, which was an advanced flight simulator, Falcon 4.0, which is immensely complicated. They still have those games today, but they're not nearly as popular as they were back then, and I'm not sure why. Again, as I say, I'm a pilot right now. That's one thing I think that kind of helped steer me in that direction was how much interest I had in those games as a kid. You know, learning how to fly an airplane with, you know, and it's not just like a generic simulator. I mean, some of those games had incredibly advanced flight physics, and they had very complicated weapon systems and stuff like that. I mean, not that I'm a military pilot by any means. I'm just a commercial airline pilot, but understanding again, you know, the kind of the turnkey operation of an airplane, how to land it, take it off. I mean, some of these games you're landing on aircraft carrier using a very accurate instrumentation, and that really kind of again developed my interest in that, and I pursued it, and lo and behold, here I am today as an airline pilot. So, you know, again, kind of getting off topic here, but how instrumental video games can be to, you know, a kid at that age is very interesting. But games like this, again, getting back on topic about this pay-to-play, there's another game called the EVE Online. It's a space shooter where you basically have a subscription fee. It's like $10 a month you pay to play that game. So you're looking at $120 a year basically to continually play that game. The other game, I guess, was what, like Star Wars. I don't know if World of Warcraft charges it, but anyway, I think the reason you're seeing this is because of piracy. That's the root of all evil. People find ways whenever a game's just a flat cost to hack it, get a key, and get around it, and then next thing you know, they don't have to pay anything. So developers are out money. And also, I guess you could argue that these online systems really provide developers a means to continually update their software, bring new content, and still earn revenue off that. So it kind of increases the longevity of the game as well. So I guess that's maybe one benefit of it. But again, looking at the cost of things, from my perspective, and I think about kids in their 14 to 15 years old, really can't afford games like this anymore. And I think they're missing out on a lot of potential development benefits from games like this. Again, I'm not saying everybody can look at this as a career or a future or anything like that. And I'm not trying to insinuate that at all, but there are some benefits of the games like this. They're a lot of fun too. I want to bring more content like this, but I just want to kind of introduce you to this game, talk about the past and where we're at now. So there's a lot of information there. I apologize if I got off topic a little bit, but Mechwarrior Online here, I plan on producing more content with this too as I start to understand it more. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if it helped you out. This is Windshare, and I'll have more content to come.